If you're a massage therapist, acupuncturist, esthetician, or any other kind of wellness provider, and you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling broke, and you've been doing this a while, but you still haven't found the success you're looking for, this video is for you. We're going to talk about some hard truths. No fluff, no motivational speak, just what's real. After having decades in this industry, both as a business owner, massage therapist, and business coach, I have come to some serious conclusions and we need to talk about them. What I'm about to say is going to sting a little, but it might also be the thing that finally changes your business, and I pray our industry. Let's get into it. There's something I never hear wellness providers talking about. The wellness industry in the United States is a $2.1 trillion industry. That's right, trillion with a T. And it's rapidly growing. In spite of everything I hear people say about the economy, this is a huge piece of the economic puzzle. Around 84% of US consumers prioritize spending on wellness services. And the younger generation is a huge driving factor in this. Wellness real estate is booming, wellness tourism is booming, mental wellness is booming. Not surprising. Our clients are spending more on wellness than they ever have before. And somehow, those of us actually providing those services are still struggling. In fact, most of us are barely scraping by. Let's get specific because I don't want you to think I'm being dramatic. I have nothing to gain except for helping you by making this video. The median salary for a massage therapist in the US is around $58,000 per year. It's actually a lot higher than what I see with most of the clients that I work with. And it sounds okay until you realize that the average massage therapist only works around 26 hours per week because the work is physically demanding and it takes a lot of energy to provide even just one single session. The other thing to consider is that unlike other industries, that salary does not typically include any type of retirement planning. That's also gross before taxes are taken out, and it does not include healthcare, so on and so forth. Typically, most providers are having to take those fees out of their salary themselves. And vacation time, don't forget that. Almost 40% of massage therapists are self-employed and solo operators with no team, no systems in place, and no safety net. And here's a number that should really stop us all in our tracks. The burnout rate in our field is estimated between 50 and 88%. That's burnout within the first 3 to 5 years. That's significant. Of about 50,000 students who enroll in massage therapy school every year, about 45,000 leave the industry within 1 year. 90% attrition in a industry that's rapidly growing. Sit with that for a second. I've coached wellness providers for years now, and I can tell you story after story of the same pattern with very few outliers. I know massage therapists who cannot afford groceries, their rent, their bills, even their own healthcare. And when I dive into the details with these clients, I see that their clientele often works in high-powered, high-paying industries. They drive Teslas, they drive expensive cars, they take multiple vacations per year. Their children might be in private school. No shade on that, that's great for them. But there's something wrong with providers struggling to pay their own bills and feed themselves while they're making concessions to their clients without even being asked in ways that make them struggle. Trust me, I know fully booked wellness providers who are still paying all their bills with credit cards. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not sustainable. And I don't really put the blame on any one person. Something else is going on, and I think I know what it is. It's fear. I know that sounds simple, but stay with me. The single most common thing that I see holding wellness providers back is fear. Second to that is lack of business skill. It's not a big obvious fear. It's a bunch of little tiny ones that come together to hold you back. Fear of raising or setting rates appropriately. Fear of burdening clients. Fear of bothering clients by asking them to rebook or following up. Fear of being seen not good enough for what you charge or for how much you communicate or how you communicate. And just fear of what people think generally. And fear of rejection. Does this sound familiar? If it doesn't yet, let me tell you a few ways that this typically plays out. 1, setting rates that don't actually support your life. 2, not asking clients to rebook. 3, not following up when a client hasn't booked or when you haven't seen a client for a while. Maybe you have a regular who just fell off and you never actually reach out to see why. You don't market. You have no marketing plan. And then you wonder why your schedule's not full. You don't have systems in place that support you or that make your business sustainable. You don't have good financial skills. You don't have a budget. You don't separate your personal and business finances, and you don't pay yourself regularly. Is any of that sounding familiar? The fears that hold us back are not irrational. They come from somewhere real. We care about people. We got into this work because we wanted to help. Truly, we want to help people. That's it. Most of us didn't dream about becoming millionaires, and that is beautiful. I never want us to lose our beautiful, kind, caring souls to capitalism. I really don't. But the problem is when fear drives every business decision that we make, we end up with something that looks like a business on the outside, but does not function like one on the inside. And that brings me to the thing I really want you to hear today. There is a huge difference between a hobby business and a real functioning business. And if you don't know which one you're running, I'm gonna help you figure it out right now, so keep watching. A hobby business is something that you do that you love. It might earn you a little money, but it does not fully support you, or maybe even support itself. It doesn't scale. It doesn't leave you room to pay yourself, take care of yourself, or plan for the future. You're absorbing all the risk and all the sacrifice when the income doesn't come in. You might be the best in your town at what you do, but the numbers just don't add up to a life that you can sustain. A legitimate business pays you a living wage. It covers its own expenses. It has systems. It's built to last. The prices are set on what it needs to thrive, not what feels comfortable to charge or what everyone else is charging. It has policies, boundaries, financial separation between personal and business, and a plan, not just a short one, a long one. Now, here is where most wellness providers live. You're seeing clients, cash is coming in and going out. From the outside, it looks like a business, but on the inside, you're not paying yourself consistently. You're underpricing. You might be grandfathering in clients every time you raise prices, if you do that at all. You don't have a marketing plan. You don't know your numbers. And maybe you're relying on outside income to survive. That could be a savings, a partner's, other jobs, whatever it might be. That's a hobby wearing a legitimate business costume. And it's exhausting, and it's going to burn you out. Now, here's where it gets really real, because the government has its own definition of this. And it matters more than most of us realize. The IRS uses several criteria to decide whether you're running a business or a hobby. They ask things like, are you operating in a real business-like manner with books and records? Are you putting in the time and effort to show that you intend to make a profit? Depend on the income for your livelihood? Have you made a profit in the last 3 to 5 years? Are you changing your methods to try to improve profitability? Do you have the knowledge to run a business, or are you trying to work with people who do? If you can't answer yes to most of those, the IRS may look at your business and classify it as a hobby. And when that happens, you lose the ability to do write-offs like a normal business would. That's a real financial hit on top of the one you're already taking by not charging enough to survive. So this question of, am I running a business or a hobby, isn't just a pep talk or a scare tactic. It has real consequences on your taxes and your ability to keep this business going long term. So what do we actually do about it? We have a choice. Either keep going the way we're going, and eventually some business-savvy corporation will come along and scoop up all the small struggling practices into big corporations that care more about revenue than they do people. Sound crazy, but it's already happening in the dental industry. Trust me, it's coming for us. Or we start having these conversations with ourselves, with each other, with our schools, with our leading organizations like AMTA and ABMP. We learn the skills nobody taught us in regard to business. We overcome our fears, we charge what we're worth, we set boundaries, we set up systems, and we build legitimate businesses that support us and are sustainable. We stop treating ourselves like the least important person in our businesses. The wellness industry is going to keep growing with or without us. The only question is whether we're going to be in it thriving or watching from the sidelines as someone else builds the practice that we should have built for ourselves. You deserve a practice that supports you, that pays you, and that's sustainable. You deserve to be a participant in the business that your clients are spending billions in. You deserve the skills that make you feel confident and like you can do this in your practice. If this hit home, I wrote a full blog post that dives even deeper than this video does. I linked it in the description. If you want support building a business that actually supports your life, check out my website, alignedpractice.io, and you can view my offerings there, or feel free to message me anytime. I built everything specifically for wellness providers based on my education and experience and my passion for helping wellness businesses succeed. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations like this one. And comment below to tell me more about your thoughts on this hot topic. I'm cheering you on as always.